Okay, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to easily add in a calendar into just about any website. So if you are a yoga studio, if you're a dance studio, or if you're just any type of business that has weekly or monthly events that you want to advertise to your customers and prospects, but don't want to have to deal with all the coding, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And this will work regardless of what platform you're on. This will work on Shopify. This will work on Weebly, which I'm playing with right now. This will work on Squarespace. It will work on WordPress. And the key thing is you don't need to be a coder. It's really simple. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, and the costs are relatively small. So in this case here, we're going to be using this company called Elfsight here, and I have played with some of their widgets that they have, and there's for the cost of what you're paying, you get access to a bunch of these widgets. But what we want here is obviously this event calendar, and as you can see, there's a variety of different event calendars that you can use to add into your website. All right, and this is a software as a service. You can see the pricing right here, and actually, believe it or not, it starts out kind of free. But for most customers, this basic right here of $5 a month will do everything that you need to do. And here's the other great thing is once you build it, if you have problems, they will actually install it for you as well. So what I'm going to do is right now we're in this kind of practice yoga studio here, and I just want to add in a calendar of events with what's going on right here. So after you've bought, once you've actually signed up and bought this, what you need to do is you come into your Elfsight apps, and what we're going to look for is we're going to look for a calendar. And you can see these are all the different apps that you can play around with, but we want to go into event calendar. And to the left here, you can see there's a variety of different forms that you can go ahead and play around with. And the great thing is these are all responsive, meaning depending on what your customers are using, for example, are they using a phone? Are they using their computers? There's all kinds of different ways that you can go about doing this. And so let's just choose one of these. And because this is about classes, let's just do the simple class one that we have right here. And you can play around with all of these, but we continue in with the template, and all you can see right now is obviously all the various upcoming classes that they have right now. And we can easily come into these and we talk about what time it starts, what time it ends. You can add in a description. You can actually upload a photo or video, and the event type. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backwards here a little bit, and I'm actually going to start down here at the bottom. These are all the individuals, and then we can get into things like event types, venues, hosts, and even things like headings and messages. The layout allows us to change the layout. We could do it as a grid if we wanted to. We could do it as masonry, or we could even do it as a slider. So for ease, especially when it comes to being on a phone, let's just stick with the list layout that they have right now. And we could actually group by days or by month. The only thing they don't allow is they don't allow you to do it by week. I wish they allowed it by week, but month is great. I'm going to do it right there. We can do a maximum width, and I'm going to just do this at 100%, right? And so what should happen is this should work anytime you're on a mobile device. You can add in filters by event types or by date or even by host. So if you have different, for example, if you have different hosts that are teaching yoga in this case or teaching a dance class, you could do that. And we come back here. We can talk about the different elements to display. If we want to take out the tags, I don't need the tags, but we could add them in if we wanted to. We could take out the venue if we didn't need the venue, right? And we could even remove the buttons over here if we don't need the buttons, for example, to buy a class. So if we come over here back to event elements, And we can actually show past events if we want as well, or we can keep those off. Obviously, it all depends. You might want to do a few past events just for people to see what exactly was done before. We can come into our settings, and when someone clicks on a detail, it can do one of three things. It can do nothing, right? It could go to wherever this button is taking them to, or it can just do a pop-up. So let's just do a pop-up here. And even within the pop-up elements, you can decide what stuff you want to have in the pop-up. And we can even, if you're in Europe, you can do a 24-hour versus a 12-hour. And then even in here, we can do in the styling. So if we come into the background, you got background color. Maybe our headings, we want to do those in a different color. Maybe we want to do those in a bright red, right? And we can even make those, if we wanted to, we can make those semi-transparent as well. But let's just stick with the red here. And we can even go up to a higher font size. Filter color, so let's say we want to come over here, play around with those. Date text colors, you can see right here, if we change this to, now it's a deeper red in here. And we can even do a button text color. Maybe we want to do a button, maybe we want to do a purple button, purple for yoga. And again, we can change the font size however we want. And we can even do a corner radius. Right. So we have our event there. We can play around with the pop-up. So the link color, we want to come in here into more purple. And if you really are fancy, you want to do some CSS, you could do that as well. So we're back to the setting, we're back to the layout. Let's go into the content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and you can add in hosts. I'm not going to add in host. This is just a class. Host doesn't matter. And the venue, I'm not going to add in because it's only just a single yoga studio that I'm doing this for. But we are going to go into event types, right? And you can see we have several event types here, but I'm going to add in beginner yoga and intermediate yoga. And I'm just going to get rid of these. And so we have beginner yoga or intermediate yoga, right? We could even do advanced yoga if you wanted to, or one-on-one. And then what I'm going to do here is we're going to call this morning namaste, right? And that starts at on, let's say, May 28th, and it starts at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. And ends also the 28th, and it ends at 10 a.m. Right? And this is our beginner yoga class. And the event type is, again, beginner yoga. And the button will go to sign up. Let's say you want to do a sign up and we want to show that button, right? And so if you have, let's say, have a contact form, or you have a payment form you want them to go to, you know, you can add that in here. And so we have morning namaste, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. Again, the event type is, in this case, intermediate yoga. And Again, we want the button on. So we have those. And then the great thing is we can clone these. Right? All we got to do is go in and change this to 529. 529. Same thing here. Oops. This will be the 30th. And this will be the 30th. So as you can see, we have, in this case here, we have a variety of different classes here. And if we come back into settings, we want 12 hours. And we're going to not group these at all. So we have this. We have all of our classes we want to add into our site, and we save that. And here's a great thing. All we gotta do is copy this little script right here, and come in over to Weebly. And in this case here, I'm going to add a section, and I'm going to embed code. If we add that in here, and there we are. We have our classes. Just like that, we've embedded it onto our site. And if we look at it from mobile, it works perfectly well in mobile as well. So you can see this is how easy it is for you to go in and maintain it and not have to worry about the coding and all that stuff. It's a great way to be able to set one of these up. And this works for a variety of things, whether you're doing dance classes, whether you're doing, let's say, yoga, whether you're doing martial arts, anything where you need a calendar where people can go ahead and look at what your events are for that day, and boom, like that, you have an instant calendar. So below this video, you're going to see a link over to Elfsight. If you could go ahead and use that link, it lets them know that I've sent you over, lets them know that I did this video, and it helps me out, helps fund this channel and be able to afford to pay for these apps so that I can actually go ahead and demonstrate them for you. And hopefully you get a lot out of it. If you end up using this, go ahead and leave a link below to your site. I would love to see what you've done with it. And any questions also, go ahead and leave a link below. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, and I hope it works for you. Bye for now.